Hi. I don't think I'm going to get cut off. I'm going to say a prayer for you guys. I'll recite the Lord Prayer for you. Lord's Prayer. Okay? I think it sounds good for all of us. So here goes. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us. Oh, wait. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Oh, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. That's it, because the rest of that means the end of man, and I refuse to say that. So, um, unless it's a funeral or a wedding, because then it symbolizes the end of man and the union of two, where two become one as the whole, not even symbolizing anything to do with sexual adaptation as far as um, are you a male or a female. You can't become the whole in your mind or your soul without being male and female. That's the whole. Um, it's not a flesh thing. It's a soul thing. Um, it was a part of God's soul that He put in woman that man doesn't have, and vice versa. Um, but He wasn't a morphodite. These the biology was with thought and sound and vibration. And well, anyway, I know I'm silly. Sorry for the flubbery Lord's Prayer, but I do love it. It is a beautiful prayer, and it can't hurt, right? That's what I'm thinking. So God bless all you guys. If you're driving around, have a really safe 4th of July weekend. People are crazy out there, you know, and that's so real, isn't it? You know. That's sickening. There's times I'd sit and I'd think, and I'm sure all you good hearts feel the same when you come to the conclusion that the whole world is so messed up. It's overwhelming. It's to the point of bringing you to tears where you shake. That bad of pain is horrible, you know. And I tried to tell my sisters across the world, even on Facebook. I got a couple, I think, that kind of understand, but um, one that has some deep hatred issues, and I can't really help her with it, you know. I just can't, you know. I don't know. And everybody does think their life is harder. And I think if you're around long enough and you're battling that same battle, they'll do whatever they can all the time, every day to you anyway, no matter who you are, you know. Just the longer you are around, the worse it hurts because the stuff accumulates. So that's where Christ comes in, where I ask, hey, I am not feeling good. I would really like some help here. And I get it. It's like then I'll be trying to do something, and all of a sudden, like the pain in my head was alleviated. Well, I took aspirins, that helped, kinda. But the thought of asking for help helps more, I believe. The same with healing. It's like, oh, I got nerve damage. How am I going to repair this? Well, you actually can. And when you think about it, he literally guides you um, with thought and actions and different things. So, yeah. Anyway, drop me a line or make me a video. Um, Tell me what the Illuminati did to you and where you live. And I'm really not kidding. I confront these people. This is what I do in a big way. I mean, I've gone into Grand Lodges and I swear I was took there on purpose just to dig in their heads, you know, um, pull their brains out, show them themselves. So I'm weird like that. I mean, I'm brutal like that. Um, that old man that raised me, that Mason, he was flippin' brutal, big, bad, and intelligently brutal, but nothing compared to what I live with. Um, if he wants to hide, he'll hide, but the red and the electric coming out of his eyes and the strength of the power of the flesh that he can direct is not a joke. And I do that too, but not to that severity. I got something else that God puts in there. Like He gives me a little bit of that fire, but then He gives me just natural mankind strength. So, to go along with that. And so, if love doesn't work, other stuff will. That type of thing. Real, actual fire for His kids. Directed. Yeah. It's not a joke. And then after that, that energy is what you use to build your life with. You'll learn that. And it's your electric. You keep it for yourself. And um, the Masons try and say, oh, like, we're going to get you pissed or upset or you'll cry. And this is the juice that we freaking live on. It's all bullshit. It's fear tactics. Not that they haven't done that. And I'll tell you more about the Freemasons in the lodge and what they did to annihilate the woman's spirit intentionally, and not all of them, because they were supposed to carry the knowledge of the bloodline, both the male and the female, through the ages, and some of them actually did and hid that, and some of them just hid it and didn't actually do that. And first they turned the lodge into like a whorehouse. Then they turned the lodge into a free-for-all. And the same with the women in the Eastern Star and their other affiliates, Scottish Rites, there's Shriners, there's the Knights of Columbus, there's the Moose Lodges, and the JCs, they're all affiliate. And I'm not going to let anybody, and there's more, all the Zionist churches and whatever, yada yada. But I will never debate any of my knowledge with anybody, justify anything I freaking say, open my soul to anybody to be scrutinized at any time. You want to piss me off, I'm going to piss you off back. Probably. Maybe worse. Hey, I told you that's me. You know, if you want to come and listen and you want to join in the reindeer games, that's all good. If you don't, um, I'll treat you like a reindeer. And I used to be a butcher. So, yeah, that's another story. I raised a baby deer that they brought to me, and I raised some raccoons. But the baby deer story I'll tell you another time. But when I was out west, these people would bring me like 3 antelope at a time, and I'd skin 2 of them and cut them up and package them up and give them to them and keep the one for myself. And the one deer I shot, I dressed that out too and did it. I like cutting my own stuff because then I know it's done right and making jerky and all that stuff. So a lot of exciting times. Anyway, oh yeah, there was a lone wolf up in them mountains too where I lived at one time. This one time on a ranch called the Beaver Ranch in between, let me see, Bob Marshall Wilderness, and that was the Wolf Mountains, and the other one were the Belt Mountains in this place called Judith Gap. Really beautiful it was. although I'd seen prettier in Montana, it sure was nice. They had their own Clearwater Creek, and um, it was really cool. I had a little Manx cat, and my baby deer and him were friends, and my Irish setter and my baby deer had her ears cut off in the combine when she was a day old, so I just adopted her and took care of her, raised her. She had a collar on. I'd walk her on a leash. I taught her how to duck from cars, and she'd ride to the mailbox or to the post office was out in the country down dirt road with me. She'd jump in the truck and we'd go bye bye, and she was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, and then that same year I did shoot a deer, and it was sickening. I'll never do it again. Once was enough for me. I used to go squirrel hunting with my dog and all the shit that we had to do, dressing birds in the middle of the night. My dad would bring home ducks from Canada, and they're well-to-do great white hope or whatever, you know, um, gung ho hunter guy. Well, he stopped that with the birds. He joined Ducks Unlimited and started donating to the preservation of wildlife instead of murdering all of it. So I had a pretty brutal life. I used to feel like crying. I'd be tired 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd be dressing out ducks and all the little, putting paraffin on the pin feathers and getting them in the freezer, washing them up. Next day in school, I'm falling asleep and my teacher's pinching me in. It's like, that's such a fucked up life. I didn't even know what life was for. When I was about 4, all things kind of went black until I was about 12. So, not that I didn't remember anything because I have a photogenic memory. Um, just mm, like when I got closer to God, it's like I started seeing colors, like more colors, you know what I mean? So, I bet some of you do, you know. It's like my world brightened up. And then nobody could get me down again. They kept trying, and no, never faded to black again. So, yeah. So, I had a really pretty good day. I really did. I don't mean to distill at you, dude with the attitude and the rest of you dudes. And dude, I just gotta tell you, deep into language here, um, means the hair on a elephant's ass. There, I spit it out. When you break it down into all its different languages, that's what dude means. Like a hair sticking out of his butt. So, anyway, just thought I'd tell you. That isn't why I said it though. It's because I watch High Frequency, Hamish over there. High Frequency Tribe. He's a character. He's a surfer dude. He calls everybody dude. So anyway, and they're nice people. His whole family. He shows them quite a bit and talks. He's a drug rehab counselor, and let's see what else. Just nice person. You know. So yep. Maybe I'll barbecue tomorrow. Yeah, perhaps. Well, I can tell you one more story. I used to sit in my room not only doing beadwork, and I was a seamstress and like every craft in the world, but yeah, every craft in the world. But I used to tan my own hides, like squirrel or rabbit or whatever, and then go down to Tandy Leather and get a kit. And I'd make purses with rabbit hair flaps, and I made my own moccasins and different things. Jewelry, I started making metal jewelry and like pounding out copper and making big copper earrings with designs of moons and stars in there. I made one. And then another thing I'd love to do was etch glass and back to the metalworking too. I had leaves of gold leaf and laying gold leaf. And if you even rip it, you can repair it and stuff and work it in. And it's really unique stuff. But yeah, I had fun. So I'd make jewelry in my room and um, all kinds of artwork all the time. Music, I had a organ to play and my guitar and my flute and kept busy. I think if I wouldn't have kept busy, my mind would have flipped, but I did keep busy. Even clean the church, and when nobody was there, I'd play um, piano downstairs, piano upstairs, and my relatives had like a baby grand and a player piano downstairs, and so just keeping musically and play the drums and the harmonica and like everything, anything, musical and dance and keeping busy, reading every book I could get my hands on, good or bad, uh, delving into the minds of people with psychology and reverse psychology and mastering all the arts of the Masons and doing it better than them and perfecting that and all that. So yeah, stick around. You'll catch on. Just actions and mannerisms and the way people talk and oh, there was something I caught today. I'll try and recall it. I wasn't gonna, and then I can't tell you who because it was funnier than shit. Totally a friend. Maybe I will tell you who. No, I can't. I can't betray him like that. No. But anyway, I've suggested his channel before. I'll just say that much. So anyway, there's a lot of artful masters out there, but good people just doing their own thing. So crafty and some not so much. Some don't even want nothing to do with nothing like that. I have had to, um, literally. Uh, so I think I'm gonna cut this off now, you guys, and hope it gave you something to do whenever you do watch it. And um, I'll come back and tell you my 4th of July story. Um, it is interesting. I think you'll appreciate it. So I'll leave it like a cliffhanger, give you something to think forward to. Peace and love from Pine City, everybody. Sleep good, y'all.